Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday webinar. Apologize for a delayed starting of this webinar, but this was unintentional. The net at my place just went off. I was assured that it will be all right by 6 o'clock, but it came back on action at 7:30. So today we are going to discuss a very favorite topic of everybody, penny stocks. If you go and see any of your WhatsApp group, it is practically full of only discussion on penny stocks. I bought this at 2 rupees. Now it is 22 rupees. Now, what are actually the penny stocks? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Is my screen visible? My voice is clear.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Okay.
Your voice is not clear, sir. Not slightly.
Okay, just hold on.
Slightly there is a noise, and we are not able to. Yeah. There is this one image.
Sir, everything is crystal clear.
No, there is an issue. My son is playing Fortnite. We both were playing Fortnite a little back, so we started. So the penny stocks is one of the favorite topics of everybody. Let's be honest. Even thanks to Dr. Shri Hari, I also entered into few, and I'm making good. Thanks to Pavan sir, I entered Sozlon, and I'm enjoying the circuit breakers these days. It is on both the sides. So we have a very big example of TTML, which started at 6 to 8 rupees, and now it's somewhere around 250. Now it's having a lower circuit. So these are the problems of penny stocks. So let's discuss out how the penny stocks becomes multi-baggers. Now, this is what we all are looking at, that we'll want to buy cheap and we want to sell it when it's almost in crores. A very famous stock is, and which I remember is in 2008, a very famous stock like Bajaj Finance was trading under 10 rupees, and it was classified into a penny stock. Today, it is one of the market leaders, and it can itself make the movement in the Nifty. So that is what we are looking at. So what I intend to cover in this talk is standard is disclaimer. SEBI is getting very strict with all kind of presentations, and I'm telling everybody in the Telegram group also, if you are posting any chart and somebody makes a loss and you have not put a disclaimer, then you are at risk. As a group owner, I put up the disclaimer rules to everybody. You have to follow it. Now, what are the definition of the penny stocks will be next things. What are the characteristics, advantages and disadvantages? I will show you some historical statistics, and how to choose a penny stock is the last thing which we are going to do. In our last webinar, we did discuss the Petrosky score or the F score. We will use that also to find some stocks of it. I will not cover all the criteria to pick a penny stock, but show you some criteria on the financial aspects. So I start with a disclaimer. This is a free educational platform. We started it approximately in October 2020. Now we are almost 1.5 years down. We do not offer any kind of paid courses. I am very thankful that we have Dr. Anish, Pavan sir, Pankaj sir, Sujata ma'am, they all are taking classes. I don't intend to change anyone's investment or trading styles. That you are free to do it. All presentations made under this forum are for only educational purposes. None of the mentors are SEBI registered, and we do not guarantee results in any form. I'm only sharing my experience with you, whatever I have learned over the last 2.5 years. Please understand the concept. Before you take a trade, please do an ample back testing. Consult your financial advisor before you take any trade. You are responsible for your profits as well as losses. I don't take any responsibility for all these things. Now, whenever is the penny stock is, this is what is told. Stop, sit, think, observe, plan, take care of your money. And this sounds absolutely correct. You have to think twice before you invest your money into a penny stock. By the time we end the talk, you will come to know what are penny stocks and how they become multi-baggers. This is what we are normally told about a penny stock. It may rise rapidly and then it may go bankrupt. The only problem with the penny stock is, if the company goes bankrupt, your money is practically zero. In one of the chats one of our WhatsApp group, I was reading somebody had bought huge quantity of a share which has not been listed and is no longer listed with any of the stock exchanges, and he lost hell of a lot of money. So it's better that you don't end up putting your money into such kind of stocks. So investing in penny stocks it can be either side of the movement. Laddu, मैं last time बोल रहा हूं. Now, definition of penny stocks. In the US, it is referred to any stocks which is less than $5. In Indian context, it is approximately any stock which is trading below 10 rupees. And they are basically referred because of their small share price. Since the price is small, investor or a speculator can purchase huge amount. Just try to imagine that if a share is trading at 2 rupees. Any one of us sitting here can very easily just put in 10,000 and purchase 5,000 shares. As such, the capital of these stocks are very less. The market cap of these stocks are very less. And if you end up buying 5,000, you also become a kind of a major stakeholder. So that is what is the problem with a penny stock is. Your market cap is less, the price is less, anybody can buy a huge quantity of the share. I remember one of my friends had Nagarjuna fertilizer when it was trading at 2 or 3 rupees at 36,000 shares. And when it went to 6 rupees, you can imagine it was 3 times the money he had already made. So that is the advantages and disadvantages of a penny stock. Now, what are the characteristics of a penny stock is? Actually, they are the advantages as well as the disadvantages. We will keep on repeating few things before we get onto the real slides. We have already discussed they are low price shares. They are favorable for bulk purchases. And they are high potential for rewards. If it goes at least twice or thrice, it's very less time they will become double or thrice. It takes very less time because the movement is from 2 to 4 is not very big thing. The problem is prior to a few years back, it was very hard to acquire information about these companies. So that's why most of the companies went bankrupt. And since we didn't have any forums, we didn't have discussion among ourselves. So it was difficult to make informed decisions about these companies. The lack of liquidity, it remains like everything, but still now we are seeing few stocks which are going into the circuit breakers. They are prone to pumps and dumps. That is the part and parcels. Sometimes these stocks are prone to delisting and there are high chances of losing money. Now coming on to this point is high chances of losing money and the stocks getting delisted is primarily if the company goes bankrupt. So today we are only going to see whether how to know the company is going to get bankrupt or not. I cannot predict future, but based on the previous year performances, you can guess that these companies likely to get bankrupt or not. Now, what are its features? These are stocks with high returns. You get because you have less amount of money which are put, and the multiplication factor can be very fast. The problem is they are very illiquid in nature. So you may have an upper circuit or a lower circuit very fast. Now, one of the companies I bought was recently, day before yesterday, about Windsor machine. And it was trading at close to its the circuit level. So the moment I purchased shares, it went and hit the upper circuit. I don't know. It may hit upper circuit for 5 days continuous. And then it starts the downward journey. And with this circuit, I don't know where it's going to end. That is part and parcel of the company you are going to buy like this. So it's a low cost affair, and the pricing do not follow any kind of technical analysis. So don't try to put your technical analysis when you are trading in penny stocks. What are the risks associated? There are a lot of pumps and dumps. Limited information. We will discuss on it. I've already said it in previously. So before you invest always think don't put more than 3% of your total capital into any penny stock at one given point of time. Do not invest more than 10% of your total investment in all kinds of penny stocks. Many people have approached me and saying, sir, I want to buy a penny stock even if it goes zero. Trust me, you have not worked day and night to make your money zero. Shweta ma'am, I didn't expect at least you to do all these things. So statistics of the penny stocks. Now I will invite anybody in the forum to tell me how many penny stocks in any of the bull runs went to zero. You will be shocked to know that the data is something different what we think of. In last 18 months, 850 penny stocks doubled. Now going down to the other part is 102 stocks gave a return of 1000%. Please note this figure. 10 stocks gave a return of nearly 5000%. And one of them, I think so, is TTML, is around 3000% we are getting it. So this is how the penny stocks can give you. Now everybody can say, okay, anybody, this is the data which has come recently. Now I'm going to show you data for last few bull runs. We had 3 bull runs, 2003 to 2008, 52% return on penny stocks. 52% did very well. In 2009 to 11, we had 65%, but we had a very bad result between December 2011 to 2015. That was just 24%. Now start seeing it. The count of penny stock between 2003 and a 2008 bull run was 779. 682 turned out to be multi-baggers. And I'm talking of stocks less than 10 rupees. And see the percentage, 88. 49 stocks became penny again. And I hope this is, I think so, maybe Vodafone Idea may be the part of it. Now, if you come and see the second bull run, 2009 to 2011, we had 805 companies. 442 turned to be multi-baggers. That means 55% did well. And out of that, 46 out of these became penny stocks again. So it's your luck, which is going to work maximum. Now coming to the third bull run, where we had the least of the stocks turning out to be multi-baggers. This is where we had those scams of loan scams, which came in year 2011 and all that stuff. We had only 175 companies which turned multi-baggers, which account for only 25%. Half of them, almost 1/3, became penny stocks again. So this is the statistics. Now see, I have started removing people now. I'm very sorry. Now think, is investing in penny stock a bad idea? Definitely the risk is very high. The problem is the most of the time we didn't know the financials of these companies, and that's why we got trapped. Now with many sites coming up and giving us the free data, we are able to analyze all these things. Through 3 bull runs, again see, only this was the time when the penny stocks didn't deliver. Even if I subtract approximately 10% out of them, we had a substantial number of the companies which turned out to be multi-baggers. So creating a wealth sometimes is important, to invest in a penny stock because the rate of multiplication is very high. If I remember, one of a millionaires or billionaires I have met was, he had took up Avanti feeds way back in 2008. And I think so he's there also on the YouTube and Facebook, and he gives a lot of commentary on it. So we don't know if you are holding on to, let's say, 10,000 shares of Suzlon at bought at 2 rupees. That was cost of 20,000 rupees. Now it is around 1,20,000. You hold it for 10 years, might be going to 1,200 rupees. Then it will be around in crores. So just try and analyze it. We had 850 stocks doubling in last 18 months. Maybe a bull run, maybe not, I don't know. But this is the statistic which is there available on the net. You can go and check it on any of the sites. So miracles do happen. And you have to believe into it. You may be lucky to have it, but many times, I'm maybe sorry, your money may go waste. So do not try to invest too much into a penny stock. Yes, you can hold on. If you know the future is like, at present, the future is towards the non-renewable, this thing, non-conventional energies, apart from the fossil fuels, like solar is going to do, the battery with the EV concept coming in, they are the companies which are likely to do very well. So today I intend to cover penny stocks over these topics: the fundamentals, the balance sheets, focus on the market cap and liquidity, future plan, avoid bubble burst. So this is the first thing which we must always take into consideration, whether this company is not going to get burst or not. So we are going to use a historical formula which is available onto the internet and has been published even in Investopedia. They all have their all drawbacks as there of any formula. But today we will refine it to a very high extent. So don't think that, don't try to put money in any of the, let's say, penny stock or a lesser price stock, because it may come out burst if it's the financial of the companies are not very strong. So today we discuss what is an ALTZMAN score. If you go and read it, this is one of the strongest score for determining whether a company, notably in the manufacturing space, is headed for a bankruptcy or not. The formula takes into account profitability, leverage, liquidity, solvency, and activity ratios. A score close to 0 means there are high chances the company is headed for a bankruptcy. Any score closer to 3 suggests there is a solid financial positioning. Now, when I put this into a screener, I got so many companies that you can't even invest into it. So I try to do it. 3 is a too low score for all of us. So we will use the higher ones also. But this is what is available on net for this. Now the score is calculated on 5 parameters: working capital, the total assets, the retained earnings, earnings before interest and tax, the market value of the equity, the total liabilities, sales, total assets. Actually, they takes care of all the financial aspect of the company. There is a multiplication for each of the factors which is given above. I'm not going into detail. For me, it doesn't make a difference because I'm not going to sit and calculate for any company. I have a screener, I will do it from there. So how should an investor interpret the ALTZMAN score? This is all given on an Investopedia. A score below 1.8 signals company is likely headed for a bankruptcy, while the company scores above 3 are not likely to go bankrupt. Investors may consider purchasing a stock if the ALTZMAN score value is closer to 3. So try to see, remember this value of 3. We will change this value also today for you all. In 2007, now this is again an historical, how the score predicted a financial crisis. The median ALTZMAN score of the companies in 2007 was 1.81, which is close to the bankruptcy levels. And it indicated a high probability of bankruptcy. So this is how this formula worked. This may not work that much in the present era because I will refine it to a level where we all think that it should go it. Now, the second parameter which we are going to use is the debt to the equity ratio. Now, how many a company has a liabilities based on the equities it has given. So it's a total, it's a very simple formula. Total liabilities oblique the shareholders' equity. Total liabilities divided by the total equity. Total liabilities over the equity is how you calculate the debt to equity ratio. If you put up in Google, what is an ideal debt to the equity ratio is 1 to 1.5. Second person also removed. I'm very sorry. So this is what a result you get is 1 to 1.5 is an ideal for any company. So any share which is under 10 rupees and is trading somewhere around 1 to 1.5 debt to equity ratio, you have a good result. Please don't try to make my life a little difficult. I'm very sorry, but I think so. We are educated and we don't need to behave so cheap. So this is, thank you. And let's go to our favorite site, the screener.in. I still request all of you to kindly maintain the decorum. I request a couple of the members who are switched on their cameras to kindly switch off the cameras. Please, please don't try to take the bandwidth for everybody else. It is very difficult for a few members who will face an issue. Can you see my screener? Screener.in.
Yes, come on.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
So
yes.
we again go and put click the screens. Now, if I put here, creating is ALTZMAN score, and I just type more than 3 and let it run. How many companies did you get? 2,412 companies. 2,412. You have to practically get a hold of all of the companies and whole of the banking of your area, and then you will be able to buy it. Now you see the last column, ALTZMAN score. You're getting all the values here. So if you see, you are having values little higher also. Now I go back and I say, I don't want 3. I want 100. I want to play very safe with my money. Still 125 stocks you have. So you have figures of nearly 500 also coming. Now I want to be even more safe. I want to place 5, let's say 300. 100 times safe I want to play. Again, we had 53 odd companies. Now you had all the companies which are even in thousands. So let's see if I put 1,000. How many results I get? I still get 15 results. Now if I put current price less than 10 and run this query. Try to see this. There is a company trading Crescenda Solutions, which is trading at 3,875. So this has to have some kind of financial stability. So chances of it going bankrupt are practically less. So let's go and check what is Crescenda is doing is. Promoter holding is low. It has a low return on this. It is almost a debt-free company. And the comparison is with other top shots. So you never know, it may be the future Tata Elxsi or maybe LTI, may or may not be. But you get a kind of a shortened list that these companies are doing very fine. Now you start from this 19th January 2021. That is last year. This stock was trading somewhere around about 0.5, 50 paisa approximately. Now it is somewhere around about 6 rupees 30 paisa. So the doubling, tripling, you can yourself see it, how much it has gone up. We don't know. It may be next, maybe 2030, we see it as a next 6,000 odd stock. We don't know. Nobody can predict future, but this is how we shortlist the stocks. Now I go back and I say, I don't want such a high, this thing. I want 500. Current price under, I will remove the current price and I bring in my old Patriotsky score, and I don't expect them to be 9. So first I try with 8, if I get anything or not. I get one stock. Indo-Asian Financial. Patriotsky score of 9 and an ALTZMAN Z score of 1334. And trust me, everybody in the forum can afford a stock worth 14.8 rupees. No harm buying 500 odd stocks, or maybe let's say for 10,000 divided by 14, you will get 700 odd stocks. Anybody wants to take a risk, do it fine. Well, let's see it. What are the credentials of this company is? You have a negative figure out here. Current price is 14.8. It is trading near to its all-time high, but you can see it started from 3 rupees, already at 14. So you can yourself imagine how much money it's already giving you. The market cap is about 22.2 crores. And you can go up and see. These all companies have one negative thing is they have not been giving too much on the equity for last 3 years. But the screener had brought in the companies which have almost no liabilities remaining. They are debt-free companies. And what is it looking like? What Bajaj Finance was 2008. So we don't know. It may be the next multi-bagger we are into this. We have checked one thing is the company has no debt. That means the chances of it getting any affected by the interest which is levied on any kind of borrowing from the market is going to be very less. The profits are not going to be affected too much. It's not affected by these things. So you can try to pick up a stock which can be delivering on a long-term basis to you. I don't know which way it's going to go. I may think of picking up, but I will not put more than 3,000 or 5,000 into it. I will pick 300, 400 odd shares and keep it in one of the portfolio. Even if it becomes 140, it's 10 times what I have got the returns. I'm very thankful to Dr. Shri Hari when he almost literally forced me to buy TTML. So now I bought it at, I think, so 70 odd rupees. Now it is somewhere around about 260, 270. It's pretty high returns. You can't even think of these returns in these days. So I'm holding on to these kind of stocks. Now we go and do what we did. The previous was debt to equity ratio was the second thing we talked about. Anything between 1 to 1.5 is very good. I don't want to do this thing. I want to only give this kind of score to it. I don't want much. Why 1? I want only 0.5. I got 31 results. I don't want this also. I want to decrease it even further. I decrease to 5 times more. Still 31 results. I get irritated. Why again and again? I make it 0. 30 results. Now you have stocks of these kind of things. Now I add another criteria. I don't want to less than 10. I don't want to play in any stock which is more than 10 rupees. 9 results. You have under 1 rupee also. Whether you get it or not, that's the secondary thing is. But this is one stock which I did like it. You see the Altman Z score, you see this side. The chances of company getting bankrupt is very low. 6 rupees, it will come somewhere around 1500 odd shares, 1600 shares at this price for 10,000 rupees. This is, I think, so one can easily keep in the portfolio and just keep on doing it. You must read about the companies when you're doing this. Is an Indian-based company engaged in providing information technology, digital media, and IT-enabled services. Now, this also started from 0.38 paisa to journey here. 20 times returns already it has given you. These companies will have some kind of cons. It cannot be like their cons are almost zero. So there are some cons, you have to take it. Compounded profit growths. Just try to see these parts also. We don't have a very good return on equity. It's going to be, it's a lowly placed share. See the promoters is 30% and public is 69.85. So I write, I want promoter holding greater than 50. Let's see, I increase my promoter holding to this level. I want even, okay, no, I want that a promoter should risk their more money than mine as I increase to 75. I don't get anything. So I increase to 70 and try seeing it. I have one company, Mangalam Industries, it's a non-binary NBFC, where the promoter holding is 75%. So there are other ways also to analyze this. If somebody has put in his money, he's not put in or worked, he's not working to make it zero, he's working to make it big. So try to look for the subtle things which are there. If the promoters have high stake into it, the chances that they will make the company bankrupt is almost zero. Now you have a practically zero debt in the company. The promoters have increased their stake 22% over last 1 quarter. Why will somebody who's running a company will increase his stake in the company by 22%? That means I know that this company is going to do wonders. So this is how I look for a stock which can turn multi-baggers. I request everybody in the forum is please try to help each other. I must compliment Dr. Shrihari in the open forum. I'm taking his name again and again. He has been very instrumental in sharing his knowledge and his fundamental knowledge with others. If we all share with her, Dr. Sanjeev from Ahmedabad is also sharing. He's also sharing in one of the groups. He is sharing. He is very active. Dr. Mehta is putting up stocks. The people should gather from people who are there to help. Please do not try to blame them for any kind of mishappening which happens in the stock market. Nobody is God. Mother and Sumi, I have invested. It is my decision. Whatever happens is my decision. It is my decision that I followed that advice. I'm not going to blame anybody. If anybody, I find anybody blaming anybody, please find yourself out of that group. There are people who are selflessly working for you. Please try to understand their things. So not telling you that this is how I picked up a multi-bagger for the future. If I know that I'm going to take up a company, I'm running a company and I suddenly increase my stake is because I know it's going to do very well. So that is how you pick up a stake where the promoters have increased their holdings. So our criteria now has become very high. Now, if you increase the price to say, let's say there are rich people in the forum is, I increase it to 20. You had Indo-Asia financials also coming in. Now let's go and check their Altman Z score. The chances of them becoming bankrupt are practically nil. as per whatever the teaching is, there is. Now, what has happened here? 51%, suddenly it has increased to 21%. To 71%. They have picked up extra 20%. Why they have picked up 20%? Because they know this company is going to do well. So this is how you can refine your searches and try to trade it. This is purely on, I'm talking on the fundamental aspects. Please do not take it as a recommendation to buy it. Please feel free to consult an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm just a simple, you're all just practicing in northern part of the country. I'm just sharing whatever I have learned is. I have a habit of sitting on the computer and trying to find out things. I share whenever I get it. So I have a very different notion about sharing the things. You share, the God cares for you. That is what is there. So I have been profitable since I've started sharing. So you can say, okay, maybe I may be a little mean into it, but I don't mind calling me mean. I'm trying to be very open to whatever I do is. This is how I have found out 2 stocks. Now, if you say, sir, no, we increase it to 50 rupees. And now run this query. You had one more stock coming into it. Now let's try to make it a little more stringent. More than 7. I will not take 9 because I don't think so anybody of them will qualify this. You had only one company. Now let me make it 8 and see it whether this qualifies or not. It qualifies on this criteria also. So that is how you pick up a multi-bagger for future, because after so much of this thing, the promoters are increasing. There is no debt on the company. But the score is 16 times, 160 times of what we are looking at. What more we want? Actually, if I make it 1,000, let's see, I make it 1,000. This will again stay because the Altman Z score is 1,334. I decrease it by 10 times. Now let's see how many companies I get it. I get one more company. Skyland Millers, a real estate company. The problem is the cons is out here is, but you see again why promoters are increasing their stake. No, the promoter stake is more than 70%. They have not increased in this company. So this is how you pick up a multi-bagger. Almost I'm done with the presentation. If anybody wants to ask a question, please feel free. There are a lot of messages in the chat box. Let me read the chat box.
So, sir, how to identify pump and dump stocks where the operators are operating and they just increase the prices?
I'm not still been able to find out these kind of stocks. Let's be very honest on it. I only see, just don't try to find negatives into it, because see, we make 100 decisions in our life. All don't go well with us. They all go, some of them will go bad also. We don't get a good decisions. For future, we don't know, these 2 companies may do very well. They may be the next Oberoi Reality and this may be the next Bajaj Finance. I don't know. We can only invest based on any kind of criteria which is laid down for the financials. If the company is bankrupt, the chances of us having all these criteria are not going to be there. Pumping and dumping is very classical with the penny stock. It can happen. If you have a bear market coming in, the penny stocks are the last to move and they're first to fall. So if the bear market comes in, you may see a lot of dumping of all the stocks which are being running like a mad horse over the last 6 months. If I correctly remember, there is one Goenka also, which is running like anything. Ganpati and somewhat, I don't know, it's from 6 rupees, it has gone to 300 rupees. So try to figure out, try to make it a very stringent scores system. Says tomorrow we will deal with the G factor, G score. So if G score comes into the place, That is not here on the screener. I will show you there is a problem here with the screener and the actual concept. So we'll go on to say some different thing. If anybody wants to play safe, he can do it there itself.
कमल
Yes, sir.
हाँ यार दो का बारे में बताओ, होल्ड या रिडीम, रमा स्टील और मदरसन सुमी.
Sir, Motherson Sumi, I'm holding it, and I don't plan to sell it for next 2 to 3 years, or maybe 6 months at least. I hold on. And Rama Steel says, sir, right, enjoy the ride. It will be a roller coaster. It will be going up. Target is 1,000, but if you get double of it, just double of your investment, just try to book half of it and make the rest half as free of cost.
वो तो यार अभी तो आधा वापस आ गया था ना.
सर आने दो ना, आएगा सर. मेटल्स में मूवमेंट साल में 2-3 बार आती ही आती है. They are whenever they will increase the prices of the steel, copper, or zinc by 10%, suddenly they will rise in the market. There will be big bull run. I did it in Hindustan Zinc, sir. I do it multiple times. I book 20-30 rupees and just come when it comes back to 315, I again buy and hold it for 2 or 3 months. I'm only stuck in Hind copper. I bought it at a very wrong levels.
नहीं, मेटल्स का 2-3 है यार. नैल्को है, वो ये है.
नैल्को तो सर झुंझुन वाले ने लिया हुआ है सर.
वही बताया आपने लास्ट टाइम. सो रमा स्टील आई विल बी होल्डिंग. देखते हैं 2-3 महीना.
Yes,
Kamal sir.
Yes, sir.
In 2008, I brought Vakrangi. It was a very big multi-bagger. Okay. The financials were very good. Everything was very good, and suddenly there was a corporate governance issue. How do you find out?
You don't find out. These are the kind of scores which will tell you.
Sir, you will not believe me. You will not believe me. I invested 10,000 rupees in Vakrangi, and in 2018, January to 29th January, the investment was 20 lakh rupees.
I know it. Sir, my partner is holding 40,000 shares of Vakrangi. My partner is holding, and he only trades into Vakrangi. His hot favorite is Vakrangi. He buys somewhere around 35, 36, gets out at 40, 45. So this is how I know about Vakrangi. I have some idea. I've never studied the financials. I don't study it. I use all these scores. Somebody has made a lot of effort to make a score. Let's take his effort. Tomorrow is for all the people who believe into real fundamental investment. The companies which are performing over a period of last couple of years. It is for them. And we will go to a very, very high-end scanners for that.
Dr. Saab?
Yes, sir.
Anji, Vikas here, Vikas Khanna from New Delhi. First of all, good evening to you and to all the others in the panel. And thank you from the bottom of our heart for putting in so much effort and putting so much life into your presentation today. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, sir. I'm honored by your kind words, sir.
Ji. Sir, at the start of your this particular webinar, you had mentioned about 2 things which you feel are, and we all feel, I'm sure, strongly feel are the streams for tomorrow, which is solar and EV, sir. Yes. Anything which you would have found out or wish to share in these 2 spheres, just so that at least we could keep it on our watch list, and as and when the right time comes, maybe going to pick them up. This is my humble submission, just so that we have one more beautiful idea coming out from you, sir, which is shared by all. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, Khanna Saab, thanks for the kind words. You pinched me on the softest points. In the EV sector, I had put a lot of my money onto Greaves Cotton.
Achha.
And it was at 4-hour trend line support on a weekly level. I picked up 1,000 shares. I'm being very honest on it. I picked 1,000 shares of Greaves Cotton. Right. Just based on the technicals. My exit was 156. I said it in the last class also.
Okay.
At 155.60, I exited the stock to find it trading at 230 after 3 days.
Right, exactly.
And the second stock which I have in the solar is I have picked up Indosolar. I have picked up Suzlon. Both are penny stocks. Suzlon is giving me 52% return at present. Indosolar is negative. I think so. There's no trading going on into Indosolar. So I'm not looking at it. It is too small. Only 3,000 odd shares I have of Indosolar, but I have 5,000 shares of Suzlon. So I
Right.
have these two. In Amar Raja battery, I have started increasing my now stake. I am very open on to whatever I am doing is,
हाँ जी,
since
हाँ जी,
BPCL will be putting up the EV charging points, and
right.
it is a government backed entity. So I will
Mhm.
be putting some amount of money into the BPCL part. Also, the stock has a tendency of moving. Moment the government makes an announcement of disinvestment in the budget, it
Right.
starts running like a mad horse.
Very
So
true.
for next 20 days, I am going to hold on to BPCL to make some money out of it.
Exactly, exactly.
So
अच्छा
whatever
जी,
I consume, I buy a stock for it. Let it be
very
Fevicol,
true.
let it be Jubilant Foods, let it be Pepsi. So I
Right.
have a habit of doing like this.
ठीक है सर. अच्छा, do what parameters we can use, kind of moving average or whatever you would have chosen to get into at
Sir,
Greaves
I will
Cotton
show
or
you.
whatever.
Can you see my screen of the trading
हाँ
book which
जी,
is
हाँ
going
जी,
on?
we can
Okay,
see.
sir. Now I will just show you. I have a premium. I have the second highest version of it. So you can see the indicators which I have put in. I don't put any
Trading
indicators.
view na sir, trading view.
Yeah, I don't use any indicators.
Okay जी, okay जी.
I practically you can ask me any indicator. I can tell you. Let me show you one of my.
आपने
favorite.
जिसमें भी लास्ट जैसे ग्रीव्स कॉटन में क्या आपने किस पॉइंट पे खरीदा,
Okay,
that
now
would give us
let's
some idea, just so we can
let's see if the lines have not been.
get a head
Sir,
start from there.
it is. You can see it here.
Right, right, right.
This was the point I picked up at 132 when it had come and touched this line. There was an alert put up on this. It came and touched here. I picked up 1,000 odd shares.
Okay,
My
got it.
target was 156, which is somewhere around at this point.
Right, right.
It was the time where it's getting rejected. But this time it rejected me so badly that it went up like a rocket.
I
And this
get
is-
you. And once you had during this course of webinar also shared sir कि भाई अगर वो level तक पहुंच जाता है, part half of them liquidate, get your capital and ride with the half. I think that is the best way to do into any share these days.
I practically never thought that it will run like this. I
Sir,
never had an idea. मुझे ये था कि यहाँ रुक जाएगा. And Pavan
ऐसा
sir
ही-
was
हाँ जी,
sitting
हाँ
with me in my office. He said कि सर मत बेचो, इसको पड़े रहने दो.
Okay, okay. Sir
He
said,
was forcing me not to do it, and मैंने कहा यार छोड़ यार, प्रॉफिट आ गया, 25 रुपए मिल रहे हैं आपको, 23-24 रुपए मिल रहे हैं, 24,000 आ रहे हैं, वर्क करो,
आने
बाहर
दो,
निकलो,
आने दो.
आने
ठीक
दो.
बात है.
वो जब अगले दिन 100 रुपए ऊपर गया ना, it went here
Very true.
250 rupees.
बिल्कुल
वो
ठीक
चुपता
है.
है फिर, वो चुपता है फिर.
सर ऐसे ही
वो
मुझे
कौन
भी
सा
चुपता है.
इंडिकेटर है सर
अगर आप
सपोर्ट का?
कॉफी डे देख लें सर, तो
सर
एक
सर वो
आपने
सर 1 मिनट
बस एक ही शेयर बोलूंगा आपको, वो देख लें, आपको मतलब
ये
आपकी
सर्किट है
वाली
सर,
बात, हाँ आपकी
ये
वाली बात
सर्किट
समझ
है.
आ जाएगी. बिल्कुल सर.
मैंने यहाँ खरीदा था इसको.
अच्छा,
I bought it here.
यू स्टिल हैव इट और निकल गए आप?
मैंने 65 की बिड डाली थी, ऐसे ये जब रेड कैंडल बन रही थी, मैंने 65 की बिड डाली थी, वो निकल गए सारे.
अरे वाह, वंडरफुल सर, कांग्रेट्स अगेन सर.
सर इसमें बड़ा सिंपल था, मैं आपको एक सिंपल बता रहा हूँ. आई एम सीइंग ऑन अ डेली टाइम फ्रेम.
राइट.
दिस इज व्हाट वाज द रीजन आई पिक्ड अप दिस ईयर.
तो लास्ट चार्ज में आपने सपोर्ट में जो 2 डॉटेड लाइंस थे, वो कौन सा इंडिकेटर है? हेलो,
इंडिकेटर ग्रीव्स कॉटन में कोई इंडिकेटर नहीं है सर.
कोई इंडिकेटर नहीं है. ही इज वेरी डन इट वेरी इन अ वेरी सिंपल मैनर, आई मस्ट से.
सर एक सेकंड, मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ,
वो
ड्राइंग
जो
हटा देता हूँ.
2 डॉटेड वाला है, ये 2 डॉटेड.
सर ये देखो,
ये तो लाइन
One line-
खींची है ना सर, ये खुद
ये
ही
तो लाइन
खींची है.
खींच रहा हूँ.
बस.
अच्छा,
ये हो गया. अब ये यहाँ पे रुक रहा था, ये कॉन्फ्लुएंस बन रहा था मेरे लिए. दिस इज ऑन वीकली टाइम फ्रेम सर.
वेरी
I'm not talking. This is on a weekly time frame. I'm not looking at a smaller time frame. So this was the conference I was waiting for. ये ऊपर चल रहा था, ये जहां पे इसको इसने टच किया, देखो 132.40 पे पहली लाइन थी. मैंने यहीं पे उसको बेड मार दी. मैंने कहा जाने दो इसको, जो देखिए टूट गया तो मेरी किस्मत, अगर सही पड़ा तो ये बहुत अच्छा जाएगा.
हाँ हाँ, वो तो दोनों चीजें पॉसिबल है सर. वेरी ट्रू. बहुत अच्छा.
डॉक्टर समीर, डॉक्टर समीर आपने हाथ रेस किया.
हाँ जी, good evening, Dr. Kamaljeet. Many congratulations. Your webinars are really, very informative.
Informative, inspiring. दोनों
Inspiring. I don't know whether it is in the scope of today's discussion. What are your views on TTML? I
Sir,
have actually purchased.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I've muted everybody. There was a lot of noise coming from the back. Sameet, I've just muted you.
Sorry, I bought 180 shares at 270. Now it's going on a lower circuit. Can you kindly
Sir, I have
enlighten me?
800 shares. I have 1200 shares of TTML. Sir. Whenever the circuit opened, I used to buy it. So I have 1200 shares. My average price is close to number 98 or 99 rupees. I'm holding on, sir. Sir, next is 5G criteria. 5G, the theme for the next 10 years is going to be artificial intelligence, 5G, ethanol-based fluids, solar and EV vehicles. These are going to be the theme for the next 10 years. So investing in them and staying invested is not bad. If you see the Tata Teleservices, which is the main company of the TTML, is doing wonders. It is somewhere around 1556. Now I give you one point to ponder about as very easily is think this way is, do you think government is foolish enough to lose the money it has put up in TTML? Government will make all the efforts. When it didn't have any stake in Yes Bank, it forced SBI to put money into it.
Okay.
Number two is the dues were calculated based on the AGR dues, which were, I think so, 3 years back. At that time, TTML share was trading at 41 rupees. So government took stake according to that. Now the government is a majority stakeholder. So if I'm a majority stakeholder, this is how I perceive it. I will always like to make some money that I don't end up losing money and people don't blame me for the losses. Because as such, we blame our governments very fast. कि गवर्नमेंट ने तो रूल उसमें पैसा लेके डुबो दिया, टाटा उसको पैसा दे दिया. This is Mr. Dinesh. How can I?
सर TTML में गवर्नमेंट का मेजॉरिटी नहीं है सर.
सर जो भी है, बट गवर्नमेंट का 10% सर, वो ड्यूज इतने नहीं थे ना. I'm very sorry if anybody is drawing it like I can just let me stop the recording because this is now going.